Hey beautiful people, I'm Jennifer Kenny. Today we're here to talk about how busy people can develop leadership skills. Don't have time to become a leader? What if it only takes a small shift in your attention? How about you stop trying to do more and start practicing with more intentionality? You're already in motion, here's how to make that motion mean more for you and your leadership development. What if everything that you're already doing was an opportunity to lead better? By the end of this video I want you to be able to understand how to integrate leadership and your own leadership development into everything that you do. Also want you to start thinking about leadership as a practice and a capacity, and also set yourself up for lots of recursive feedback, good feedback, that will help you grow your leadership skills really quickly as you're doing your job. So this is for all the busy people out there. First of all, kudos to you, means you're getting on with your life and doing great things. So how, as a busy person, do you develop leadership skills? One of the most effective ways I've found to do this, and it is core to my belief and understanding of what is leadership. Leadership is really a practice, and the most effective way to build your leadership skills is to start thinking about it as a practice. Now, if you're a busy person and you're looking to develop your leadership skills, it means that you're already in practice in lots of different areas of your life. You can be at practice in work, you can be practice in your family, you can be in practice if you have kids with your kids, you can be in practice in your community. So wherever you have an opportunity to be in practice, there's a seriously good chance that you can be in practice developing your leadership skills. So let's talk about how to make that work. I've written a book called, it's a best-selling book, called The Innovation Mindset. And the reason why I did this was I've been working in innovation in Silicon Valley in tech for the last 30 plus years. And what I saw is that the people who thought of themselves as innovative leaders were the people who learned leadership fastest and accelerated fastest. So for you, if you're thinking about how as a busy person do I develop leadership skills, one of the things that you can do is you can begin to think of yourself as someone who innovates on a regular basis. And that capacity to think about leadership as a practice, to think about innovation as a practice, and to think about yourself as an innovative leader will actually push you forward in your ability to be able to develop your leadership capacity as you're busy, as you're working in your day-to-day work. The cool thing about practices is that they require that you're busy. And the nice thing about it is practices are actually something that put you in a position of having constant feedback. So think about practices as something that you would do if you're playing a sport. A sport is a practice. Playing a musical instrument is a practice. I'm a serious yoga is a practice. And so the cool thing about practices is if you're paying attention, every single practice that you do feeds you back understanding, depth of knowledge, appreciation of what works and what doesn't. And it's a constant feedback loop. So the most effective way for you to build your leadership skills while you're busy is not just to understand that leadership is a practice, but also to understand that feedback loops are going to accelerate the learning of that practice. So whether you're a sports person or whether you're a musician or whatever other practice that you have, I want you now to start thinking about, in the light of that practice, what are the sort of feedback loops that you get? Drop it below for me in the comments, so let me see how you're thinking about practice. And then let's take your learning from that and your comments from that and translate it into leadership as a practice. Now the question is, how do you set yourself up and how do you set up those recursive loops within your organization and within your team so that you can be getting constant feedback on the effectiveness of your leadership? One of the most powerful ways I have discovered to do that is to make offers. And I talk about making offers in a number of the other videos that I've done here. But the idea of making an offer is moving yourself away from someone who is receiving tasks or being told what to do, and someone who is leading themselves and who is autonomous enough to be able to see opportunities, to be able to add value to others in the organization. Now, as a busy person, you're probably going, oh my God, she's going to tell me to do extra stuff. I'm not recommending that you necessarily do extra stuff. What I do recommend is, as a busy person, your time is incredibly valuable and you know your time is valuable. And what you're looking to do is you're looking to avoid time sucks. Now, as you think about time sucks, my guess is you can identify 1, 2, 3 time sucks in your workday off the top of your head. If you can, drop them in the comments and let me know how they show up for you. But for me, time sucks are broken processes. Time sucks are confusion around what it is that people are doing and people not understanding what it is that I've asked them to do or what I think they've committed to do. Time sucks are poor project management. Time sucks are poor communication and people reworking things or people looking for things. Time sucks are also poor organization and poor decision making because people then rework and search for things or are looking for documents on a constant basis. All those things are big time sucks. If you can identify 2 or 3 of those time sucks and you know yourself that if you could fix those time sucks, and it might take you a couple of hours of extra work a month, if you could fix those, it would give you back a lot more time in the latter part of the year. So now would be a fantastic time to identify 2 or 3 of those time sucks. Pick one that is your biggest time suck and your biggest opportunity that hopefully is under the purview of your current boss. If that's the case, go make an offer to get it fixed. Fix the process, fix the filing, fix the documentation, fix the organizing system, fix the communication to people, and make that work in your favor so that it's taking work off your plate and giving you back some time that you can then use for other more effective things in your life. So making offers is an incredibly powerful way not only to build your leadership, but what it also does is it puts you in the flow of other people giving you feedback as to how effective your leadership is. Once you start making offers, what you're doing now is you're effectively designating your boss. Let's say you're making the offer to your boss. You're designating your boss as your customer. Once your boss sees what you're doing, you need to stay in a constant feedback loop with them, and you can tell them that you're doing it specifically to build your leadership skills. Your boss will probably be delighted because it means that you're taking stuff off his plate. So, valuable way to think about leadership is as a practice. One of the key practices of leadership is making offers. As I make offers, I build recursive feedback loops. As I build recursive feedback loops, I put myself in a position to be able to improve and expand my leadership capacity over a period of time. If you think that you're going to be able to control your way out of being busy, then you need to catch yourself in perfectionism. I'm not saying that you're not going to be careful and that you're not going to have high standards and that you're not going to look to be excellent. But if you find yourself trying to work the control game of thinking the control will bring you calm, peace, serenity in the middle of the busy, then you're probably making a big mistake. One big opportunity is to move away from the control paradigm and thinking that leadership is about being in control, and to recognize that we are working in incredibly agile, fluid, complex processes continuously, and that if we have the ability to be able to work within those processes as an agile person ourselves, and I don't mean agile as project management, I mean agile as our own agility of thought and practice. If we can work within that, then what it does is it allows us to be able to be wiser about some of the decisions we're making, about some of the offers we're making, about how we're engaging with people. I talk about the idea of living in curiosity and wonder in one of my other videos, and that's worth looking at as you start trying to move away from being in control as a way of trying to feel less busy or trying to feel like I'm in control, so therefore I don't feel as overwhelmed. As you start thinking about living more in curiosity or living more in wonder and relinquishing a certain level of control, what you will start doing over time, what I've noticed great leaders start doing over time, is they start thinking about their own personal standards as to what it is that they want to accomplish. For busy people, if you're busy running around with your hair on fire, that's not the sort of busy that you're looking for. If you're busy and you know what you want and you know what your standards are and you know what you're looking to produce and you know what value you bring, that's a whole different kind of busy. That's a getting stuff done and building your leadership capacity busy. So as you think about how do I build my leadership capacity as a busy person, ask yourself, what kind of busy person are you? And I want to help you shift from the hair on fire busy person to the busy person who says, I've got a lot of possibilities, a lot of opportunities on my plate. I'm excited about them and I'm building my leadership capacity as I set those up and as I work to deliver on them. I have another video that I think will absolutely help you with this, which is what are several ways to be able to build your leadership skills. And that also talks to the specifics of different areas that you can look to that will help you build your leadership skills and your leadership capacity. So as a busy person, absolutely respect what it is that you're trying to do and really laud you in terms of your wish to build your leadership skills. I hope this video has been a help to you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.